Welcome back, everybody. Time for some more Victory at Sea Pacific, and we are picking up right where we left off. It is March of 1943. Most of my carrier power is based at Truk Lagoon. We're thinking about Tinian and Guam as our next targets, but we're also thinking about all of those Japanese carriers that we know are out there. So I'm rushing a bunch more carriers into service as quickly as I possibly can. In the meantime, Carrier Group A is going to go deal with this Japanese cargo force, 10 cargo ships, an oil tanker, an ammunition ship, and 2 destroyers. I've also thought about whether or not I should maybe try to deal with all of this down here. Try to clear all this up before we go pushing up toward Japan, rather than just putting a pinprick through the middle, maybe just trying to take everything. But the way he's building ships as fast as I can sink them, I'm not sure if I want to do that or if I just want to try and end this thing. So we'll see. Alright, so that task force was taken care of. Basically what I'm doing right now is I have 5 Essex-class carriers in the works back at our 3 main ports. And so until I get those 5 Essex-class carriers on their way out toward the front lines, I'm really not going to do a whole lot. So 1943 might be kind of boring, but we're building up the war bonds. We will attack anything that might come this way, but you're not going to see a lot of action until I get those carriers. What do we got over here? Okay, so what we've got here, oh, we had a battleship, and it looks like the Marshall Islands just took it out. 5 destroyers, a light cruiser, and a heavy cruiser here as well. They already took the battleship. It seems like maybe the thing I ought to be doing is building up those bases. Oh, this is potentially a major problem, because right here, Task Force 57, they have the atomic bomb. And they just ran into 2 subs. I've got 3 destroyers, a light cruiser, and a carrier. So I think that should be a winnable situation, but I need to hold the carrier back and send the destroyers in to try and deal with these subs. Okay, so no worries there. We've got another enemy fleet we just spotted in the North Pacific. That's 5 subs headed toward Makin Atoll. I don't know if we've got anti-sub. No, we don't. We just have a spotter there. But going back over this way, where was I a second ago? Over here. No, those are convoys. That wasn't it. Somewhere I had... Okay, there's the task force that has the atomic bomb. There's 3 destroyers, a light cruiser, and a carrier. Right behind them, Task Force 55 has a battleship and a carrier. So between those 2, we should have a pretty good force to park at Wake Island for the time being. Alright, so we took care of those subs. Now, the same task force, which now has merged with the... So now we've got the Enterprise and the USS Franklin, along with the Iowa battleship, has just run into 4 destroyers. So what we're going to do is, I think, we'll probably just go ahead and send the Iowa ahead to attack. We'll keep everybody else back here. I'm going to keep the Vincennes... protecting the Franklin. We'll keep the Hutchins protecting the Franklin. We'll put the Fulham and the Hudson protecting Enterprise. And we'll get some planes in the air once we get closer, but I think the Iowa can probably go ahead and handle these destroyers by herself. Let's go ahead and take a look at her. Alright, let's go do it. Alright, here we go. We just got in range with the Iowa. You know, honestly, I probably am not even going to bother sending my planes. Although it looks like those destroyers are getting awfully close to my carriers, too. Why are we not firing with those other... There they are. Nice range on this battleship. We actually don't even see the other destroyers at the moment. Alright, I might go ahead and get some planes in the air. I don't like how close he is. Haven't hit him yet. Come on, Iowa. You got this. Nice. Looks like she's stopped now. First time seeing Iowa in action, so that's kind of nice. These should be the shots that take out this destroyer, because it's not a moving target anymore. There we go. Alright, the question is, where are the other ones? There's one right there. Beyond that, I don't know where they are. Alright, we still don't have planes coming at these guys. Alright, we're starting to get some torpedo planes in the air now, but it might be too late by the time they get there. Boom. Enemy fleet destroyed. Okay, so we must have already sunk the other two before we even saw them. Alright, here's a juicy target. We've got 5 destroyers, a cruiser, 2 light cruisers, a heavy cruiser, and a torpedo cruiser headed toward Truk Lagoon. That's the kind of target you just can't pass up when you've got this many carrier groups in one place. So we're going to go after him with everything that I've got. Now, I was looking while this was happening over here toward Pearl, and I'm a little nervous about something that's going on. And that's right, yeah, there it is. 6 subs lurking real close to 20 cargo ships, 5 oil tankers, and a destroyer. That is a lot to replace if I lose them. So I think what we need to do is we need to try and reroute these guys, deliver those supplies to Midway, try to get away from these subs. And what I'm waiting for are enough war bonds to upgrade Pearl's defenses so that they can get some planes that have the range to hit those subs. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm hoping there will be. Same with Johnston. I don't think we've got, and that's just too small of a port to even have anything there. That is just a beautifully massive force of planes. I'm not going to watch this one. I'm just going to see what happens. So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ships, all of which we should be able to successfully destroy in one round, one sortie from that many carriers. Yep, didn't take long at all. So that was 10 Japanese ships, a bunch of cruisers and destroyers gone just like that. I don't know how many planes we lost in the process. Alright, so it looks like we successfully avoided those subs, and now I'm upgrading all of Pearl's planes, so that's going to take a little bit, but then hopefully they can hit the subs as they get a little closer. Enemy fleet spotted near the Caroline Islands. 5 cargo ships, 2 ammunition ships. Beautiful. So while we're not doing anything to advance the war, while we're waiting for all of these carriers, we are scoring some nice hits on the Japanese fleets. It looks like we're just about ready with Carrier Group D to deliver the atomic bomb parts to Wake. We'll hold off and we'll keep them there for now until we take Tinian, which is historically where we launched the atomic bomb attack from. And then hopefully we'll see very soon. I did queue up another Essex class carrier to start being built. Hopefully we'll see some of these coming into service pretty soon. Alright, we've just spotted 15 dive bombers from the Imperial Japanese Navy heading north from here, which means that probably very close to the Caroline Islands we've got a Japanese carrier or more. I've now got 2 light carriers in the fleet with the battleships, the Cowpens and the Belleau Wood, so they're named after battles apparently. So we might go ahead and send this group out even before we get the other ones into place. No sooner had I said that than we see dive bombers coming toward Truk Lagoon. So it's fighter time. So far, just Carrier Group A's got some fighters going out. Now what do we have going? This might be from... those are still Carrier Group A. That's fine. So we'll go ahead and send them out first. Taking on 30 Japanese dive bombers. Once we deal with them, we'll probably go ahead and fire up the carrier groups. See what happens with all of this. We ought to be able to take these guys out. Alright, looks like they might get in range here, so let's go ahead into combat and take a look at them. Here they are. He's upgraded. He's got Grace dive bombers now. And it looks like most of my fighters must have depleted their ammunition because they're not coming out to engage. My Corsairs are returning. The good news is my fleet doesn't seem to be in danger at the moment. There we go. How many does that leave? Only 9 of them. Alright boys, let's get some fighters in the air here. I'm getting a little nervous. Although I don't see my fleet. Where is my fleet? They should be in port. So that makes me a little nervous. 9 dive bombers could be enough to take out a carrier. Okay, I don't see my fleet here. I know they're in port, so I'm not sure where they are. Alright, I'm not complaining. Alright, looks like he was attacking the port. He did a little damage to some anti-aircraft guns, but that's about it. Alright, not too bad. So it looks like the Japanese fleet probably is all the way back here by Tinian that they were attacking with. They are, I guess, in range from there. So a bunch of my fighters are pursuing, but they'll probably turn around before they get that close. Or at the very least, maybe we'll spot him. Now, we've got 5 subs right near Tarawa. We've got the Monaghan Task Force there, which has a significant number of destroyers. So I think we ought to be able to deal with those subs. Speaking of subs, where are the ones that were near Hawaii? Right there they are. So we'll see if maybe we can deal with them. See if we've got... No, we're not quite finished yet, but now you can see the range. Now that we've got new planes, now that we've got B-29s, they've definitely got the range to be able to hit those guys. I don't know if B-29s are going to be able to hit subs, but certainly worth a try. Task Force 61 just created the USS Canberra. We got a new heavy cruiser that we can throw into one of these task forces. Let's throw them into Carrier Group B for now. Alright, the Monaghan Task Force took care of that fleet of submarines. Let's go ahead and put them back to port. Alright, so this Japanese fleet is coming my way. 4 carriers, 2 battleships, 2 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, 18 destroyers. Let's see if we can knock him out, because there's another one just like it back here. So we've got a total of 8 Japanese carriers that are probably within range. I'm going to let them come toward me, because if they get close, then I have less distance to cover to launch my attacks and get back to base, and then I can hopefully separate these 2 and deal with one at a time. Here he comes with some dive bombers. So we're going to go ahead and start pulling our guys out of port. We're going to get our fighters in the air. Hopefully take out these 15 dive bombers before they get close, and then we're going to go ahead and start thinking about launching an attack of our own on his carrier task force. Okay, none of those 15 dive bombers made it out alive. Alright, we just need him to get a little closer here. Sending out spotters, see if we can spot this guy. Let's go ahead and start inching our way up. And I'll go ahead and bring Task Force 51 out as well. Alright, what is that? That was another group coming from somewhere. Maybe they just turned, I don't know. Alright, we need to deal with these fighters. Oh, here we go. 12, 16, 20, 28, 35 fighters. That's a lot. Hit them. Alright, let's slow down a little bit here. Oh, I didn't want to slow down that much. Alright. So this will be the air war for supremacy in the air before we can really launch an attack on him. But I've got a total of 8 carriers here. 6 fleet carriers, 2 light carriers. Alright, we're going to go ahead and launch our first attack. I've also queued up a couple of cruisers and another light carrier at Truck Lagoon. That's the biggest carrier that I can build there, but it gets them into service pretty quickly that way. I'm going to go ahead and launch a full-scale attack from all carrier groups as he's turning around and trying to get away. If we can sink a couple of carriers, that's really the key here, because shooting down planes doesn't help, because he can just turn right back around to Tinian and Guam and get more planes. What I need to do is take out the carriers. So 4 carriers, 2 battleships are kind of our main targets, but he's also got 22 destroyers, light cruisers, heavy cruisers as well. We haven't actually launched anything quite yet. Alright, here comes the request to launch aircraft. What is this over here near Pearl Harbor? 6. Those are those 6 subs, and it looks like we do have a... That's just a spotter there. Hopefully we can get some planes in the air to deal with that. But right now, it's all about trying to take out these carriers. As soon as the planes get close, we'll go ahead and take a look. Okay, so we're getting our first glimpse of the actual fleet. We do have some planes getting in here. Looks like mostly fighters and the sort right now, but let's see if we can get any kind of an attack going on this fleet. We're getting daylight here in a minute. I do have some Helldivers that made it through. Come on, baby. Alright, let's slow things down. Those were Hellcats. Where are the Helldivers? Here they are. So we are at least going to get some kind of an attack on this guy. How successful it'll be is another question. This is all about the carriers. Alright, there they are. Looks like we got a battleship right here. Kaga, another Kaga. I don't know how many of those we've sunk now. Another Kaga, 3 Kagas. Alright. Let's get all of Charlie Squadron focused on this guy. And we'll let the rest just do their own thing. I want to at least get 1 carrier on this first attack run. Where are they? Here they come. Come on, baby. Beautiful. Oh, we didn't finish it, though. Finish them off. All right, let's pause for a second. Do we have any other in the area? No, we don't. Darn it. We just needed a couple more bombs on that guy. What about these ones? Here we go. Hit the Kaga. Finish it off. Alright, House Squadron, that's your job. Finish this guy. Let's at least scratch 1 carrier right here. Here they come. Beautiful. Bye-bye. That's 1 down at least. Alright, we've got some more going in. We'll just watch and see what they do here. Looks like they took out at least 1 destroyer. We'll see what they do beyond that. I don't see any of these planes getting out of there. They didn't. Darn it. He's still got 3 carriers. That's way more than I'd like. The good news is I'm really close to port, so I can go right back if I need to. But I've got to scratch some more carriers here. Got some torpedo bombers going in. We'll see if they get anything close. Still 3 carriers and 2 battleships. So these are the torpedo bombers making their run. There's not a lot of them, and he's still got some fighters. Alright, come on, torpedoes. Do your thing. Nah, they're all going to get shot down too. A few dive bombers coming in. Brutal. Just brutal. I might have been better off to just let the thing happen. Oh, they got another carrier. Good. He's down to 2. So maybe one of those torpedo planes did their job. I don't know where we're at on planes right now. Let me go ahead and take a look at my planes. Hammond has lost probably 2/3 of theirs. Essex has lost about half. Let's look at Carrier Group A. Pillar of Autumn, better than half are gone. You want a buyer, about half. Carrier Group C. Hornet has lost about 2/3, and Lexington's lost about 2/3. So we might be able to get another attack or 2 off before we've got to turn around. I'd really like to try and take out another carrier if I can. So what do we have going in here? 4 fighters. Oh, Carrier Group A being attacked by aircraft. Alright, I hear an aircraft fire, but I actually don't see his planes anywhere. But I'm scrambling fighters from You Want a Buyer. Get some combat air patrol. Set to protect them, so I think we should be okay. Whatever it was, I must have shot it down. Alright, I'm going to take what I have left of my planes and actually go after these cargo and ammunition ships and then return to port. We'll call this a win that we took out two carriers without the loss of a single carrier on my part. So once we take these guys out, we'll return to port, get those planes built back up, and hopefully by then my other carriers are going to be ready to go and we can get them moved out to the front lines. Oh, here's a juicy target. 5 oil tankers and 3 ammunition ships. And we're going to go ahead and let Truk Lagoon take that one out. They're sending up 9 dive bombers and 6 level bombers. That ought to be enough to do the job here. Take out 8 ships. Well, it might take 2 runs because that's not quite enough planes to take out that many, I don't think. Yeah, they took out 3 of them. See how many... No, we didn't lose anybody. Even better. So while these guys are getting refit, we do have some cargo ships coming to reinforce Truk Lagoon. We're starting to build up our stores there, which is really good news. We're also building a Baltimore-class heavy cruiser, a Cleveland-class light cruiser, and an Independence-class light carrier at the same time. And while we're finishing off these guys, they're down to 1 oil tanker, 2 ammunition ships. We've got another 10 cargo ships and an oil tanker right here. I don't think we're quite ready to go yet. Oh, maybe we are. The Essex and the Hammond are ready to go. It looks like they might be. Our carrier groups are ready to go, so let's go ahead and get them out there. And we're going to start by taking out this guy right here. That'll be a real quick combat situation. Bye-bye. Alright, so we're not quite ready to go here. Task Force 62 in San Diego. We have the Port St. Lucie. Oh, I actually know somebody who lives there down in Florida. But we're still waiting on the other ships. Looks like his fleet has turned south, which is beautiful because that means they probably didn't go and get refit for planes. And we might be able to go ahead and finish these guys off. So let's go ahead and get everybody back out there. I think our planes are pretty well set to go. Let's get them in the air and let's finish this fleet off. 2 carriers, 2 battleships are the main targets, but there's a whole lot more there than that. Oh, we got 6 level bombers from Truk Lagoon that came in right off the bat. They didn't do much of anything. but a massive amount of dive bombers headed that way. We got a total of 25 ships in that fleet. Let's see what we can do. Alright, another carrier scratched. A lot of planes going down, but that's okay. All 4 carriers have now been taken out of that fleet. He's still got a lot of other a lot of other ships that we can sink, though. I'd love to get those battleships. All right, looks like he's coming this way. Let's be super careful of that. We don't want those battleships getting in range. However, I'm okay with Task Force 51 continuing to head at him. Another group of 5 destroyers near Midway. I don't think we have anything up that way except for Midway's planes, but they ought to be able to do the job here. Let's see. Bomber flights. Hit them. Alright, so here's what's happening. We took out... he's down to just 1 battleship, 2 heavy cruisers, and 2 light cruisers, and 17 destroyers. But he's sending the other carrier fleet down to this area. So we've got a real opportunity here. If we can hurry up and get these planes ready to go, that we could take out not 1 but 2 carrier fleets, even while we're waiting to complete our new carrier fleets that haven't been built yet. Alright, Carrier Group B completed her repairs first, so we went ahead and brought her out of port, and so she's sending all her fighters up to go and intercept these fighters. Meanwhile, we still have level bombers from Truk Lagoon going out and trying to hit this group over here, and I think now that Carrier Group B's done, and it looks like A's done as well, we're going to go ahead, let's hit this cargo ship and oil tanker group here first. We'll attack them, and then we're going to try to finish off this fleet over here. We'll get Carrier Group A in the air, or out of port, so they'll start getting their planes in the air. So there we've got 14 cargo ships there, and I don't know why they're moving toward them without actually launching their planes. I'll have to take care of that. Alright, we've been winning the fighter war in the air, so now we get our dive bombers headed toward this group with the battleship. They've got a total of 22 ships left for us to deal with. He does still have some fighters, but we'll deal with them. I just really want to take this thing out. Look at all these fighters I've got up here just kind of chilling, protecting between me and them. Come on, boys. Man, I'm not having a great deal of success against these smaller ships right now. Let's see if this group gets it done. Really aren't. Wow, not a single ship sunk yet. Alright. I'm a little nervous about getting this close to those ships, so I'm going to go ahead and pull these carrier groups back for now. My goodness. Who would have thought that some battleships and cruisers would be that hard to take out? All right, we've got ourselves 2 new carriers, the Randolph and the Ticonderoga. And for now, we'll just keep those names, but eventually they may get changed. But we're going to go ahead and send them out. I don't think we have anything else right now. In Mare Island, we've got these cruisers available in San Diego. So maybe what we'll do is we'll have them meet up somewhere here in the middle and connect. And then once we have them merged, we'll go ahead and send them, or maybe we'll just send them all to Midway and they can merge there. That might be the easiest thing to do, because they're both kind of equidistant to that. All right, here we go again. We're going to try to finish this guy off. He's still got all of those ships. It looks like we're once again losing a bunch of planes. Oh, we did. We got his battleship. We got his heavy cruisers. He's down to just the destroyers and the light cruisers now. And this is the point at which I can probably send my battleships to finish him off. Now just 1 light cruiser. Oh, now just 11 destroyers. So we're finally getting him. This time we're getting the job done. We're going to completely wipe out that fleet. We've taken out all the carriers, all the battleships, all the cruisers. I did start, let me pause, start sending out Carrier Group D from this side, figuring that if he slipped through from me here that we'd catch him there. But it looks like we're going to go ahead and finish him off. Now we've got to think about this other one. All right, we've completely destroyed that fleet. Now we go ahead and park once again. We keep doing our usual thing where we just replenish our planes. It doesn't take long to do that. And we never really endanger any of our own carriers in the process. I'm going to go ahead and allow Carrier Group D to come down to Truck Lagoon and link up with these other ones. That's going to give me a total of 10 carriers, 10 fleet carriers plus some light carriers. I think that's going to be enough to go deal with Tinian and Guam. I've been sitting here while I'm waiting for the carriers to come down. I've been just convoy raiding with Task Force 51, and I've probably taken out 40 cargo ships, at least 12 or 14 oil tankers, plus probably another 10 or 12 ammunition ships. It's just been beautiful. I mean, just nothing they can do about it. What's going on here? So we've got Navy planes coming in from down here, which tells me he might have a carrier group up here. So that makes me a little nervous about Carrier Group D, because there's only 2 of them there, and they really can't take that on by themselves. All right, so this is how this episode's going to wrap up right here, because what's going to happen now is we are going to take on this other carrier task force. Assuming we destroy them, by that point, Carrier Group D will have made it to Truck Lagoon. That'll give me 10 carriers down here. We will have advanced several more carriers out to Wake Island. We've got more in the building. We're upgrading Wake Island to a major port. It'll be there in 9 days. That will open the door wide open, it should be, for Tinian and Guam to fall. I don't think he's going to have enough. Well, they're saying here another carrier group right there, but I think that's probably, no, it's a different one. So we took out 4 carriers and their whole task force. We'll take out 4 more here. That'll leave 4 more over there. So, but I think 10 or 12 carriers ought to be able to deal with them. Okay, so 22 ships plus 4 carriers. And our first attack wave is going to go ahead and start going in here in just a minute. All 3 carrier groups ready to go. Truck Lagoon's still replacing her plane, so it's going to be a little while. Same with Task Force 51. We are working on getting the Cowpens and the Bellow Wood back up to speed. But here come the dive bombers. So let's see what we can do. And again, I'm not going to watch the attack this time, because it seems like they do better when I just allow it to happen on its own and try not to direct things. I've taken out most of his fighters, so there shouldn't be much of an issue there. We'll see how many of these planes we end up losing. Alright, we got 1 carrier. 2 carriers gone. Just a wave of smaller groups of dive bombers going in now. I don't necessarily expect to do a lot with that. The main thing is hitting those carriers. One carrier left. Got a carrier and a battleship left in that group. Alright, let's pause and look and see how we're doing on planes. It looks like we lost most of our planes in doing it. So it's kind of the way this goes. Launch your planes, take out what you can, head back to port, refit your planes, and repeat. Alright, I'm going to queue up 2 Lexington class carriers to go along with the 2 Yorktown class carriers I'm building and the 2 Essex class. So I've got a total of 6 carriers being built in San Diego right now. Let's go ahead and take a look. Mare Island, we still have 2 Essex class carriers, so that's 8. Nothing going in Puget Sound right now, but we don't have enough war bonds to build another carrier, I don't think, unless it's a smaller one. I would get a Yorktown going, so let's go ahead and do that. We can't upgrade it yet though, but we're just spamming massive amounts of carriers, because what's going to happen is in our next episode we are just going to overwhelm the Japanese Navy with all the carriers that we can get into position. But right now the goal to finish this episode is to wipe out this last group right here. And carrier group A has been refit and they're ready to go. The others shouldn't be far behind. But let's go ahead and see what we can do. We've got 1 battleship, 1 carrier left in this group. Alright, we got the last carrier. So now he's down to just 17, 19, 21, 22 ships, which we will go ahead and deal with right now. Hammond's ready to go, so I think we can go ahead and get carrier group B going. Let's go ahead and just go all out, just hammer this guy and finish it off. A little glitchy there. Oh, we're losing planes like crazy, but we got the battleship, and now it's just destroyers, light cruisers, and a heavy cruiser. Alright, let's be careful. Alright, just destroyers left now. Let's be careful. What I'm going to do at this point is park them and just send Task Force 51 to finish them off. That's the one that's got all the battleships. They can take out these destroyers. And I think before the battleships even get there, the planes from the light carriers are going to do the job. Alright, so it looks like we've wiped out another entire Japanese carrier task force. That was 2 in that episode. So now, let's set the stage. Massive amounts of carriers being built. I've got, I think, a total of, let's see how many we've actually got right now. We've got 2 light carriers there, 2 fleet carriers here. We've got a battleship, some cruisers, 2 more fleet carriers there. We've got the Monaghan, which is a fleet carrier. And then we've got, well, we've got the 6 at Truck Lagoon. We've got the Saratoga here, along with a light carrier in the Princeton. And then we've got at least 10 more that are currently being built. So next episode, we take Tinian and Guam. Then we have so many carriers by the time that episode's over that we'll take the Solomons. We'll gobble up some of New Guinea maybe. We'll deal with Australia. Once I deal with all of this right here, then we look at Iwo Jima, and then we look at the mainland of Japan. So let me know your thoughts about all of that. Use the comment section below, and we'll see you again in a few days with another episode. Thanks for watching.